Welcome! Today we're tackling something we all know too well, our inner critic. You know, that voice in your head that thinks it's a motivational speaker but ends up sounding more like a judge on a reality show, telling you, "That's a no from me." But don't worry, we're not here to let it control us. Today we're going to learn how to silence that inner drama queen and finally show it who's boss. Let's dive in and get that critic on a coffee break, shall we? Mastering your inner critic is such an empowering process, and it can make a huge difference in how you feel about yourself and the world. The inner critic is that voice inside that often tells us we're not good enough or that we can't achieve something. But over time, you can learn to soften that voice, or at least not let it control your actions and emotions. Here are 10 steps you can take to master your inner critic. 1. Recognize and label the critic. Start by identifying when your inner critic speaks up. It might sound like "you're not good enough" or "you'll never be able to do that." The first step to mastering it is to recognize that it's happening. Once you can pinpoint the moments when it shows up, try giving it a name or just calling it out as the inner critic in your mind. This can help you distance yourself from it, and remember, it's not you talking, it's just a thought that doesn't need to control you. 2. Understand where it comes from. Often, the inner critic has roots in past experiences or societal expectations. Maybe you were criticized growing up, or you've internalized messages from the world about what's acceptable or perfect. Taking some time to reflect on where these critical thoughts come from can help you gain perspective. Understanding that these voices don't originate from your true self can reduce their power. 3rd, challenge the critic with compassion. Instead of just accepting the negative thoughts, challenge them. Ask yourself, is this really true? What evidence do I have that contradicts this? Often, our inner critics are fueled by distortions or exaggerations. Counteracting the criticism with facts or more balanced, kind thoughts can help weaken its hold on you. You could also replace critical thoughts with affirmations or encouraging statements. Practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness you would offer a friend. When you hear the inner critic, instead of being hard on yourself for having those thoughts, acknowledge them with understanding. Remind yourself that everyone struggles with self-doubt or negative thoughts at times. You don't need to be perfect. You only need to show up with patience and compassion for yourself. 5. Create a safe space for positive thoughts. Spend time nurturing positive self-talk. Surround yourself with affirmations and engage in practices like meditation, mindfulness, or journaling that encourage a kind, positive mindset. The more you focus on positive thoughts, the more your mind will create a balanced narrative, and over time, the voice of your inner critic will soften. 7. Limit comparisons. The inner critic often thrives when we compare ourselves to others. Social media can make this even worse, showing us curated versions of people's lives. Try to limit comparison and focus on your own journey. Trust that you're exactly where you need to be, and your path is unique to you. You don't need to measure yourself against others to feel worthy. 8. Develop a growth mindset. Instead of seeing mistakes as failures, view them as opportunities to grow and learn. The inner critic often shows up when we fear failure. If you can shift your mindset to embrace mistakes as part of the process, it will be easier to quiet the critic and build resilience. 9. Surround yourself with positivity. Spend time with people who uplift and support you. Positive relationships can drown out the negative noise of the inner critic. When you're in a supportive environment, it becomes easier to be kind to yourself and trust in your abilities. 10. Be patient. Mastering your inner critic takes time. It's a gradual process of rewiring your thoughts, which requires patience and practice. Don't expect to shut down the critic immediately, but celebrate each step forward. It's all about learning to recognize the critic, challenge it, and cultivate a more supportive and empowering inner voice. over time, you'll become more skilled at managing it. Do any of these strategies resonate with you, or are there areas where you've noticed your inner critic showing up most often? Thanks for watching, and remember, be kind to yourself, laugh at the weird thoughts, and keep moving forward. See you next time.